door open because somebody's coming in. Good morning. This is Margaret at the University of Sewing, and this is Facebook Live. And Kayla's back, so
hello.
say hello to everybody.
Hi,
Thank
everybody.
you, guys. All right, so we have a giveaway for you today if you're sharing. We have this wonderful layer cake, and I don't care what that other company says about having it. It's a layer cake.
Yeah.
And it is 10-inch squares, and there are 42 of these.
Wow.
And so I'm going to just fess up to you guys. I got lots of gifts when I went to Bernina University, and I want to share them with you guys. You know, I guess I could keep them, and I can't buy every single fabric we see.
Yeah.
I really want
Unfortunately.
to.
I know.
I really
I
want
get it.
to, but I can't. So I have to pick and choose. And we probably won't have this group of fabric, but it's gorgeous. And I want you guys to share with me and have some of these really pretty fabrics. So this layer cake is going to go to one of you who share. Make sure that when you share, you of course hit your share button on Facebook.
You mean like Kathy Neal?
And Kathy is such a sweetheart. So she is definitely needing to be put in this little group of people. But put your name in the comments that you shared, or just, I mean, in the comments, you don't put your name in it. You write that you shared. You just write the word shared. And so that is available for you so you can win this. So yesterday we had a winner. We will have a winner. I haven't gone through and pulled all the names, but what we do is we give it a full 24 hours. So this morning is when I would look at the 24-hour period and say, okay, all these people shared, and then we go ahead and put your name into a hat and we pick. So that's the group of fabrics today, that wonderful layer cake. I can't always give away something quite that nice, but we have some really fun stuff. So we're going to start today with Soar. Now, for those of you who missed it, Northcott has come out with what I think is a very patriotic, very American-centric kind of look. And I don't know about you, but I love our country. I think we have a very special country. And I think this eagle coming down into this wonderful valley makes me think about, like, when we were last year, Dave and I went to
Yellowstone?
Yellowstone, thank you. We went to Yellowstone and the Colorado, what was it, Dave? The
Rocky Mountain National Park.
Rocky Mountain National Park. All those places. It
And the
kind of makes
Tetons.
you think of the West. It kind of makes you think of the Appalachian Mountains. All these wonderful places in our country. And we have this. And look at this really cool feather fabric that is one of the coordinates. So there's, I think, 12 or 13 different fabrics that go with this line. Plus there's a wide back. And there's also another yardage, continuous yardage that kind of looks like the hills and the mountains and stuff. This is going to be really some very special quilts. There's going to be some very special quilts. I think anybody... if you've got a veteran in your life, if you've got somebody who, you know, you've been thinking about what to make for somebody you really love, and they are maybe someone who's older, and you've been thinking about making a quilt for them, they're gonna love this. And I think there's a lot of young people who will really love this too. You get somebody who's a real nature lover.
Oh yeah.
Those people are all gonna really love this. And I want to make sure that we got to show you this. I'm also going to show you the 4 different patterns we have with this. And so we've got Beneath the Stars, and we're going to have a kit for every one of these. And Beneath the Stars ends up being a throw size, although, of course, if you add a couple more borders, you're going to end up with something that is a bed size if you would like. But this particular quilt, when we do it as a kit, is 60 by 79. And by being 79 inches, it might actually go over a longer guy.
Oh, yeah.
We had a gentleman who came in yesterday and he's like, all the throws are too short for me. So the guys want to cuddle under a throw too. This is Cliffside View. It is 65 by 79. They're saying that this one is perfect for a confident beginner, so you don't have to be a super experienced quilter to do this. It's a very lovely quilt. This is actually my favorite one. This is the one
I'll tell you what one is my favorite. That one.
Above It All.
I do love that
okay,
one.
so Above It All, right now, if you look online, it says we're working on it, on the kit. I have to make another kit. So this one's a smaller throw. It's 57 by 68. And it, again, all you'd have to do is add a couple more borders and you could get a lot more length out of this. And if you're not sure how to do that, you can call us and I can give you some recommendations of what to do to make it either longer or bigger all the way around. So we've got Above It All, and you can buy these as individual patterns or you can buy them as a kit. And then the last one is Take Flight. Take Flight comes in 3 different sizes. So you can make this as a lap quilt, which is just 47 by 66. You can make it as a throw, which is 60 by 80. And then you can make it as a queen size quilt, 90 by 109. And I think we're gonna put together at least a couple of the queen size kits, because I think there's people who wanna do that size because they want this for their bed.
Yeah.
So it's so beautiful. And you know what? This panel right here with the eagle coming down, if you wanted to use the continuous yardage without the eagle, you could do that too. So there's a lot of different ways you can handle this. So I wanted you guys to see these again because the line is so gorgeous. It is done in these really beautiful blues with some teal in them. It is it is so beautiful. Let's show them that panel one more time. And
I love the watercolor effect on it as well.
yeah, it's really, really lovely. So I think that you need to make one of these for you. Or you want to give it as a gift. I know my brother already asked for it as a gift, so he doesn't normally watch these, so he doesn't know.
Oh, I'm sure if my mom was watching, she would want one because it reminds me of their trip to Alaska.
Ah, there you go.
With
See?
the glaciers and
Sure, I can see that totally. Okay, everybody, we have to ask the question.
What's that?
Did you make your top?
I did.
So,
I made this. That's my favorite thing to do now. And people are like, "Oh, I love your top," and I say, "I made it."
It's so much fun.
It is fun.
Isn't it so much fun?
Yes.
Now, was it super hard?
No, it was so easy because it's literally just 2 pieces.
Oh, you do have binding on it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So that
that's
had
true.
to take
That's
a little
true,
bit.
right?
Was
But
that
it wasn't
hard to
hard
do?
at all.
It
This
wasn't hard?
was my very first.
Binding?
Yeah.
So you never did
And my
before?
first, like, on my own shirt to make.
Oh my goodness. Well, you did a wonderful job.
Thanks.
It's very beautiful. Okay, so she's got this gorgeous top, and this is where she picked this up from. So those of you who are thinking about making yourself something, maybe something like this. Now, it would be really easy to make it a little longer. You're very nice.
I made mine longer, but I know, it's hard to tell that I did make it longer, but I also like a little bit of the cropped, so.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
You've got the figure to pull that off. Some of us don't.
Right.
So we might want to make it longer, but I'm going to let you know that making this longer is super simple. All you have to do is cut through the pattern pieces right here and add length.
Yeah.
And that's all there is to it. So it's not hard. And I think I even told you about how to do that when you were talking about doing this. Is it? Maybe Alice tell you. One of us, I do.
You helped me.
Yeah, it was just but it was so simple. And so if you're thinking that you like the style of the Naomi Ito, if you like that style, I think this book would be a really great addition. And you can make yourself some really cute tops. And I think one of the things that makes this so pretty is the drape. So I wanted to let you know that we still have plenty of the Andover fabric. And Caitlin brought out the one she used, and she also brought out another one. But we still probably have, I would say, Another at least 10 or 12 bolts of this fabric.
Yeah, there's another color of this, I think, back there, as well as some other ones.
So
but they're so soft.
They're nice and soft, and that's why they look pretty, because they aren't standing away from your body real stiff.
Yeah.
So that's a key. Sometimes the quilting cotton can kind of sit a little stiff. And so what I'd recommend is that you look at something like the Andover Fabrics, and that's all you have to put in the search engine, and you'll come up with all the different Andovers we have. Andover. So I think that'll come up really easily for you. So speaking of really cool fabrics, look at the new Japanese fabrics. Now this is a little interesting. Robert Kaufman actually carries a line of Japanese fabrics, and they are stunning. I am thinking these would make, really, quite frankly, the cutest jackets.
Ooh,
a great skirt, bags. I'm just really loving these fabrics. And if Debbie Bean is out there, I don't know if she thinks so, but I think she would look so cute in this one. She's pretty and blonde, and I just think it would look so pretty on her. So I think that would be a super cute jacket on her. I don't know why. The minute I saw that, I could see her in a little jacket out of that.
Debbie Bean.
Yes, I did. It's interesting. I really am digging on this one with the little flowers on it. I think that black with the little flowers. Well, you know what I dress in, so you know. So these are really fabulous. I haven't tried washing them yet. So I don't know. I mean, when you look at it, it claims here, according to the tag, cold water, wash, delicate cycle, tumble dry low. So I'm going to take some of this home and see what it does. Because I really like being able to tell you guys exactly how this is going to handle. So we've got these gorgeous fabrics just in. I will tell you that these 4 I just showed you, they are Robert Kaufman's, but I have, we have to do 1 or 2 couple of steps. You've already put them in the system, I just haven't turned them on.
Oh, okay.
So we'll get that done today. Some other ones we got from Robert Kaufman. Okay, you guys have been asking me for Minky. We've got Minky. So we got Minky. And I didn't bring all 5 bolts out, but I did bring 3 of the 5 we've gotten in. Look how adorable and cute this is. Are you in the middle of working on a grandchild quilt? This could be your back. And it would be a very soft and cuddly back.
It's so soft.
It's so soft. And so maybe a pillowcase?
Yeah.
Pillowcase would be great. You're going to have to use your walking foot with this, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And look at the cute little bears. And, okay, I know that there's a name for this. What's this?
Narwhal.
Narwhal. Okay, he's really cute.
Oh, I love it.
And little bunnies on it. And, oh my gosh, this is so cute. We've got little penguins. The other fabric that we have is all covered in cute little penguins.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 Christmas ones. One is green holly, and another one's snowflakes. And then the last one, I had no idea how pretty this would be.
Oh, it's so vibrant.
It is so pretty. And so I had one of our employees say, I want a robe out of this now. So it's so cute. And it's just so soft.
I know, I can't stop touching
I know, everybody wants to pet it.
Ooh.
It's really beautiful. So we've got these, they're just about ready to go on the floor. They're all 60 inches wide. All these Minkies are 60 inches wide. We will later in the year be getting some 108-inch wide Minky.
Oh.
So if you want to do a big quilt, it's going to be work. And I hear from my friends who long arm, this works just fine on a long arm. So Pat is here now, and she's shaking her head over there, so that's cool. So we know that you can do that. Okay. Now, oh my goodness, but it is fluffy.
It's so soft.
They're there's little fluffies going everywhere. Just be aware you're going to have the vacuum cleaner out.
Clean your
after this.
machine after that.
Oh
for
yeah.
Sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, we have the Martelli Rulers finally.
Woohoo.
We've had for the last year people asking more and more often for us to carry Martelli Rulers. So we're going to start off with showing off this really great ruler.
And why did they ask?
Because they see us use them all the time here in the shop. And because we're using them all the time in the shop, they're like, what's the deal with this? Well, look at this. How do I move that? You have to pick it up and move it. You're not going to move it very easily.
And flip it over and show them why.
And so they have a special non-slid grip stuff. This is a lot better than the shelving stuff we think of as the non-stick stuff. It's a lot nicer than that. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a little demonstration on the Martelli Rulers, but I wanted you to see this great ruler holder. This is really sharp, and we're going to have one of these in the shop, and we're going to use this to keep our rulers straight. Because, I mean, they always get kind of messed up over here and to the left of where we're cutting. And I think if we have the holder, it will help a lot organizing those. So we're going to have the ruler holder. Now, what we decided to carry for the moment, and I will get more things of theirs, but for the moment, we are going to show you off the ruler holder, which is
It's heavy.
It is
too.
heavy.
It's sturdy.
It is very sturdy and heavy, and it's got the non-slick stuff right here on the back. But this is going to hold, well, this is a 24-inch ruler. It's just slightly shorter than that, so it's going to hold it really nicely. And so these are available. Today, again, we've got almost everything put in the computer, but this is one of the things I'm still working on. So you look afternoon today. So look afternoon. So we have these wonderful racks, and you can put any kind of ruler in here. You don't have to put a Martelli ruler. Obviously, I've got my Omni grids in here, and they're in here just fine. So those are ready to go. So we've picked, what we decided to do is we got the 1.5-inch rulers, we got the 2.5-inch rulers, and the 3.5-inch rulers. And the idea here is that if you're cutting strips, you want them to be accurate, and you want them to be the way you want. What always happens with the rulers, and I mean, I love my Omni Grid ruler, but look what happens.
Yeah.
They move all over the place. And so, I mean, that's okay. But then what I've got to do is I've got to line it up. I've got to hold my fingers here, and I've got to hold my hand here. And guess what? I'm not that tall, and I'm not that big.
You don't have the third hand for the...
I don't have the third hand to cut. So, when I decided we were going to start selling fabric in the shop, I had gone to a Bernina University, and I met the people from Martelli, and they had a whole set. And I thought the only way they sold all the rulers was as a set. And I was like, wow, that's expensive, and a lot of people may not want all those rulers. Well, now they got the message, they got the memo, and they sell them individually. So we carry the 1.5, 2.5, and 3.5, but there is a 1, a 2, and a 3. And I can obviously order those for you if you want. But I thought having that extra 1/2 inch, most of us are doing quilting. And so we want that extra 1/4 inch on either side. So I thought this made sense. So what I want to show you today is why we like them so much. So for starters, what I do when I cut off of my fabric, I take the edge of my fabric and I like to line it up with my ruler on my cutting table. Now if yours doesn't have it, that's fine, but what you want to do then, if you don't have that, is you want to line up this nice edge right here along the fold of your fabric. So now I've got it either lined up on the line, or I've got it lined up on the ruler on the table. And so what I've done is all I want to do on this particular cut is I'm just wanting to make sure that my fabric is cut off and my edge is nice and square. So that's all I'm doing with this cut. is just square, because you can see it's not even right here on the end. It's not square. I want it to be square, so when I cut my strip off, it will be accurate. So I'm gonna cut this, and notice I didn't have to put the death grip of God onto the table. I didn't have to hold my hand a special way. I didn't have to wiggle things. I didn't have to grow 6 inches, because I'm not real tall. And look at that. Look at my nice straight edge. And you know what? The only time it's not straight is if you don't cut it straight.
Yeah.
You do want to make sure you cut it straight. Okay, so now what do I want to do? If I want to cut off a 3.5 inch strip off of it, now I've got a nice straight edge. I can move it over if I need to, just a little bit there, and I can get that nice and straight. But now what I'll do is I'll flip my fabric around. And again, I'm gonna make sure that everything's nice and straight. Well, we know this edge is straight, so I just have to put my ruler right against that edge. And so I'm gonna put my ruler right against the edge here, guys. And again, I'm gonna move this over. There's a little seam right here, and I don't wanna cut on the seam. I'm not worried about whether it's square or not right now, because I know my edge is straight. So now all I have to do is go along here, and guess what? I have a nice straight 3.5 inch strip, and it just came out perfect. And cutting these things accurately is not always the easiest thing to do. And if your table's not exactly the right height for you, and that's whether you're taller or shorter. We're like Mutt and Jeff today. So when you're trying to do this, sometimes that's a problem. If you're the kind of person who does a lot of quilting and sewing, and you want these straight edges, boy, are these nice. And so I think you're really going to enjoy them. I think they're going to be helpful. You know how you sew. You know which strips you use a lot, but I do think the 1.5, 2.5, and the 3 work really well. You know, the 2.5 is the jelly roll size.
Oh.
So that makes it really easy to lock that 2.5 down, and you can just cut stuff. You want to cut your squares off of there, then you can take, and like right now, if I wanted to make a 3.5 inch square, all I have to do is come over here. I'm going to cut my salvage edge, even as cute as it is. I'm going to cut that off first, and then all I have to do is cut that. And guess what? Now I have my square.
And if you want to come in and try it,
you can come in and try it. We're happy to show you. We're happy to let you try it. It really is as easy as I'm showing you. As I get older, my hands are not getting stronger. And I am finding that sometimes, some mornings, they're a little bit cranky. And so having something where I don't have to, new blade, and using these Martelli Rulers really do make things a lot simpler. And you know what? These are 3.5, but what if you wanted to do like 8 inches? Well, you have the ruler on your mat, hopefully. And if you want to do that, the nice thing about this is you can set this up, and you can go, okay, I'm going to put this on this line, and now all I have to do is go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I put my ruler down, and I can use this exactly the same way. I've aligned it. I lift it up a little bit, but what you see me doing is I'm lifting it up a little bit to move it. So I get it.
because you can't slide it.
You can't slide it real easily. You can kind of push it, but there we go. See, that's lined up, and now I can cut right here, and I have 8 inches. So it doesn't matter what the size is. Just having even one of these is really helpful. I do think that getting them at least 2.5 or 3 inches wide is helpful, because it gives you a little more surface to grab onto your fabric. The little 1.5 inches are great for that size strip, but I think if what you're going to do is cut bigger pieces, you will find the little bit bigger size is actually kind of nice, because it has a little bit more surface area and it works well.
That's the one I always go to when I'm cutting fabric in this shop.
Now, and see, how long have you been cutting fabric?
Since April.
Okay.
So I'm always grabbing the bigger one.
And so, yeah, I grab any of them because I'm used to this, but I can totally understand that. See this one right here, if I'm not mistaken, this is a 1.5 inch one. And it's just different in that it does move a little easier. You know, I can move this one a little easier than I can move this one. See, that one I can move a little bit easier because there's just not as much surface area touching my fabric. So if you only have a limited budget and you want to buy one because you want to see what it is, I recommend the bigger one. That's just my personal opinion on it. Okay, I have a tip for you guys today. If you have a machine and you are not in a cabinet, think about, are you having problems with, as you sew, your machine is moving a little bit? Doesn't even have to move a lot. Is it moving a little bit? Well, if you own a Bernina, maybe not, except for the sergers. So what I can tell you is that for years, in my alteration and tailoring business, we have used one of these, they are called Get a Grip machine pad. This one is 17 by, okay, I should remember this. It's, I want to say 12 by 17. That's what it is. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
I think that's a good guess because they call it the 1217.
Yeah, I think it is 12 by 17.
I bet you have a ruler here. You
Yeah,
can measure
we
it.
have a roller and we can measure
We
it.
do have plenty of rollers.
So the deal with this, is it
17?
17?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I think it is 17.
11.
Okay, 11 by 17. So this 11 by 17 will fit under a machine up to a 5 series. It's not going to fit your 770, but my point is that if you're having problems with whatever your surface is and your machine's moving a little bit, this will stop it. We have used these under our sergers for probably 4 or 5 years now.
Oh.
I found them years ago. They are the best ones I've ever seen. And see, I didn't remember who I bought it from.
Oh.
I'm so funny. I didn't remember who we bought it from. So we had them under our sergers, and I was like, these things are awesome. And so now we have the smaller pads to fit under your traditional, standard size machines. Think pre-1990. So any of those machines, they're going to work really well on this. The other thing we'll work on it is your standard smaller size serger. They won't move around on your desk on that. So they will help you with that. And we also have the wonderful foot pedal pad. Now, this is really funny. Again, Bernina figured out how to make theirs so that they don't tend to walk around the room as much. But most of the brands out there, including our Bernettes, those things move everywhere.
I can attest to that.
Yeah, they do.
I
They
don't
move
have a
everywhere.
Bernina, and mine's constantly. I'm
Where is it?
looking
Where
at me.
is
Where's
it?
my foot?
Yeah, where is it? So this will help you with the where is it. So we've got those, and I think that these are a long time coming. I should have done this sooner, but I didn't.
But that was an advantage of going to BU.
It was an advantage of going to BU. We made sure we got this taken care of right now. I want to point out that we are in our last 2 days of the Christmas in July sale. Christmas fabrics and patterns, and by the way, I got some new ones in, so go back and look because there might be something you really like. And they're going to be 30% off till the end of the day tomorrow. Go online, make sure that you get yourself some really cute stuff. This is a Northcott line. There's fabric that go with this, and they're really beautiful. We have some Robert Kaufman, some RJR. There's some really cute Christmas fabric. And you know what, guys? There's some of it we're getting really low on. This line is getting really small. So that's going to be probably gone pretty soon. And the Father Christmas, we still have plenty of that. It's pretty new, but you're going to be able to get it for a great deal right now. So really pretty stuff. Think about those Christmas presents. You always have to make a Christmas present for somebody you didn't know you had to make a Christmas present for.
Yeah.
Well, or I shouldn't say you have to make it, but you need one. You
Right.
need that Christmas present. You're like, oh gosh, I don't know what to do. Well, wouldn't you rather sew up a cute little throw for somebody, or do a nice little door hanging, or a
Oh,
table runner, and be able to have that as a fast gift that you have in your stash ready to go? And then when you find out that the nice neighbors across the street invited you for Christmas, cocktails or something, wouldn't it be nice to go over there with a lovely little present?
Definitely.
So I did this one. I got one of these and I did a table runner out of it. It turned out so pretty. I gave that as a gift last year, and you would have thought I gave these people like the most amazing thing.
Yeah.
Panels really, really stand out to the non-sewer. The non-sewers see panels in a completely different way than we see them. And they are just such a bright and happy thing. And every time I give my granddaughters a quilt, if I give them a quilt that I pieced everything, and they're like, oh, thank you, Grandma. I gave them a quilt with a unicorn in the middle of it, and you would have thought I gave them magic stardust. So all I'm going to tell you is that think about the panels for those gifts that you want them to really use it. Think about doing something with Father Christmas, putting the Minky on the back. You know what? Your grandkid is going to cuddle onto that until Mom says it's not Christmas anymore, you gotta put it up. So we'll pull it back out next year. So I think that this is a really great way for you to make a quick, fast gift, and we're giving it to you for 30% off. How can you beat that?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, it is that time. We've got to open up the store. People were fussy that way. And we will see you next Friday for Facebook Live.